So once I had my diagnosis in 2015, after a couple of years, I kind of fell into advocacy and I met two really, and it was amazing when she got on this trial because she had had brain mets, she had had a craniotomy, and she had even had an Ommaya port where she can get drugs directly to the cerebral spinal fluid. But this drug actually gave her regression of her brain metastasis. And she actually saw for the first time that her mets were shrinking in her brain. Unfortunately, her liver did not respond. So she was taken off the trial when she had. So this was all in 2019 when she was on the trial and then taken off the trial. And around the same time, another friend of mine named Marina Kaplan, who was also very close to Amanda, she had been living with metastatic triple negative breast cancer for almost 6 years. But around 2019, I think it was early 2019, she developed brain metastasis. And she was trying to qualify for trials, but she couldn't because a lot of trials 2019. And when I went to that conference, I learned that we really don't know that much, that actually there is not a whole lot of research. There's not a whole lot of training patients with brain mets extremely low. I even learned more about this additional central nervous system diagnosis called lepers, asking questions, putting people on the spot, really fighting for themselves. And I just realized like I could really be an ally to these, to help patients living with brain metastasis and to change the game. I want to make sure that we have more research. I want less exclusive criteria for the clinical trials. And I want more clinical trials, not just allowing stable brain mets patients, but actually allowing patients who have brain mets and lepto so they can actually study and see what these drugs are doing in the brain. So both of these women really have inspired me, and I do hope that I can help other women down the line, other patients, I should say. Men also get breast cancer, but I really do hope that I can help others with providing resources for patients living with brain mets and or leptomeningeal disease.